Now for the first question, a pretty basic question. When did you first become interested in video games?
Oh, that's a fun question. So, in about 1990, I believe, it was either 1990 or 1991, a family friend of ours donated or actually purchased for us a Christmas gift, a Nintendo Entertainment System for me and my brother. And ever since then, I've just been wrapped in the world of video games. I have an overactive imagination, so in my early life, uh, playing a game like Super Mario Brothers meant I was in the world of Super Mario Brothers, and I could get lost in that world, indefinitely. Uh, and as I got older, I just really started to appreciate the things behind video games, as well as growing technology and all these other innovations in games as well. You cannot stop getting invested in video games when the industry is just evolving so much. It's just such a fascinating medium.
Now, something related to your YouTube channel. How did you come up with the idea for the Boundary Break series?
So basically what happened was I was playing Punch-Out on a certain emulator, and when I was trying to figure out how to use the computer mouse to essentially do IR pointer controls, like for the Wii motion controller, I accidentally activated the free camera. And so when I did that, I essentially found a whole nother world. And I thought it was so cool, especially in a game like Punch-Out where the camera's just locked behind the character. You can't manipulate the camera in any way. So I shared that with people, and someone put it to Reddit, and that was the first video I ever produced that got on the front page of any subreddit of Reddit. I used to think that Reddit just hated my guts. So it was at that point that I knew that I could do something with this. I always wanted to do a review type show because I love just injecting your personality into games that people love. It revitalizes the value of that game to hear someone else talk about it. So I always had that passion there, but I just never had a way to actually reach an audience. And when I saw the great reaction that unedited video had, I was like, I could definitely make a show out of this. So the first thing I did, of course, was I looked on YouTube to see if anyone else was doing this. Very important to me. And I didn't see anybody else doing it, which was really surprising to me. And so that's when I started doing the show. And it just caught on like really quick. Like I said, just Reddit loved the show. It really helped boost my visibility. And that's essentially the beginning story of Boundary Break.
Okay, a little question that I'm sure a lot of your fans would like to hear, including myself, is of all the video game collector's items that you have, I've seen that Zelda Ocarina of Time Nintendo 64 in your background, but of all the collector's items that you have, is there any that you think is more prized than the others? And if so, can you show that to us? Get that bad boy on camera.
So yes, I have a lot of Nintendo stuff. Now, I'm a fan of all games, of course, but Nintendo's the only one with such a long-lasting legacy that also managed to reach me when I was a child. So I have, like, a Virtual Boy, I have all the Nintendo consoles, and I have it all set up in a really nice cabinet and everything. But my prized possession that you wanted me to show you is, of course, my Earthbound cartridge. I love this game so much. It's just incredibly unique. Its story, like, I'll just say this, the game is amazing. It definitely was an underrated game for a very long time. It finally has the visibility that it's always deserved. But just like, not only is the game fascinating, but just how we got here with this game and how we grew such a large fan base and got Nintendo's attention and all the things that we did to try to get Nintendo's attention, Starman.net. It now has a legacy that has overshadowed itself. And this little cartridge here is worth quite a bit of money. And it's my most prized possession because, again, I had this cartridge before that amazing tale behind the game. And, I would never get rid of this for anything.
Okay, so where were you in life before YouTube started? I mean, I know you left your job to do YouTube as a full-time thing, but I mean, what was your career choice before you decided to do this?
Yeah, so I'm going to backpedal just a little bit. For a while, I was a courier, and I was living in a rural town with a girlfriend of mine, and things did not work out. Things didn't work out. And then I had to leave that job because I worked with her in that job, and so it was finally like I lamented to somebody, and she had an office job, not my ex-girlfriend, a friend of mine, and she hooked me up with a job interview for an office job, and I always wanted to have an office job because I never thought I could ever do something on YouTube. I always wanted to. I was always a very creative person, and I always wanted to have an outlet for it, but I just never thought that I'd ever make it. I tried a couple times, never worked out, and so I figured my life was going to be the life of an office worker, because if you can't tell, I don't got much of this, but I do like to think that in some ways I have some of this. So I figured, working behind a computer would make a lot more sense than working behind a jackhammer. Although I really would love a job where you can just kind of be outdoors all day, although I imagine it's not as great as that sounds. And then I think the rest is history. I think you guys can figure out what happened from there. But the one thing I will tell you is, the office job, it's funny because, like, working as a construction worker is difficult on your body. It becomes, you exhaust yourself physically to do things like being a garbage man or a janitor or a construction worker. But doing an office job is mental gymnastics. You have to make sure that you don't upset anybody, which I'm not good at. My personality is that you do right by me and I do right by you, and I do my work and you do your work. And if you stop doing your work and that work starts to get unloaded on me, I can't be taken advantage of. And so, like, I just don't function well in an office environment because I don't play by the gossip rules, the ways to avoid getting on someone's radar. It was not good for me. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that preview for ProtoMike-V's interview with me. I would put the entire thing here, but it was his idea to do it, and he's the little guy, and it would mean a lot to me if you went to him to see the video. So there's a lot of interesting questions there that you didn't get to see in the preview either, so I definitely recommend checking it out. He was definitely a fan of the show. So with that said, take care guys, and I hope you enjoy the video.